200 million Americans feeling this bitter chill across the country. Snow and ice, the massive pileup, more than 50 vehicles on this interstate, temperatures in some areas dropping 60 degrees. Here in Washington, the televised impeachment hearings just hours away, the first two witnesses and why they were chosen. The urgent hunt growing tonight, the U.S. Marine wanted for murder, searching across several states, and you'll see the new surveillance. The vaping emergency. Tonight, the teenager needing a double lung transplant. Doctors say he was near death, and what they say they found. The alarming news tonight, authorities investigating 3 separate cases, 3 student deaths in 3 days involving fraternities. All eyes on the Supreme Court. Where do the justices stand on DACA, the program allowing dreamers to stay? President Trump wants it to end. Will the court agree? The first signs tonight. The man detained and handcuffed, told to stop eating his sandwich. The backlash, and tonight the apology. Overseas tonight, the retaliation after Israeli airstrikes target jihadi leaders. Your money and the battle for your eyes tonight. Disney Plus launching today, taking on Netflix and Apple TV. Disney Plus with all the Disney classics and Star Wars in one place. And the first challenge because of demand. And Robin Roberts tonight with Dolly Parton. What we never knew about 9 to 5, what Dolly memorized.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, reporting tonight from Washington.
And good evening tonight from Washington. And we are here at our nation's capital because of the historic nature of what will play out here tomorrow, the televised impeachment hearings, and what you could expect in just a moment. But we do begin tonight with this massive storm system that's now turned deadly, a 50-vehicle pileup in whiteout conditions on I-80. This is near Youngstown, Ohio. Traffic at a standstill in so many places across the country, at least 6 deaths now across the storm zone. A record November snow in Detroit and the record-breaking cold settling in across much of the nation, a 60-degree drop in places. And millions are now bracing for tomorrow morning. We have the track for you, and ABC's Alex Perez leads us off from Chicago.
Tonight, that powerful Arctic blast bringing whiteout conditions and wreaking deadly havoc on the roads. In Ohio, several crashes involving multiple vehicles, including this pileup on Interstate 80 near Youngstown. The highway shut down in both directions for a time. At least 2 fatalities on the state's icy highways, at least 6 weather-related deaths in all across the region. The cold fueling that snow was record-breaking in Chicago.
Try to keep my face warm.
Does it do the trick?
Not really.
2 days in a row, we have established a new record low.
To the east, in Detroit, their biggest November snowstorm on record.
This is too much for November the 12th.
In Indianapolis, children braving sub-zero wind chills as they boarded school buses. And in Buffalo, residents digging out from nearly a foot of snow.
Most people aren't prepared for it, even though everybody warned us about it. It's just too early.
ABC's Rob Marciano in Syracuse, New York.
It's not the amount of snow that's the story here in Syracuse. It's the dropping temperatures, and it's causing this snow to be hard-packed, slick underfoot, and difficult to drive in.
The freezing temps stretching far south in Dallas, where the thermometer dropped to the low 20s, sprinklers creating this icy mess. And David, we broke a record low here, 7 degrees here this morning. In fact, we never got out of the teens today, but a slow climb towards warmer temperatures is on the way for us here. David?
Alex Perez and Rob Marciano in my hometown of Syracuse. My thanks to you both. And let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee timing out the cold tonight. Ginger?
Oh, I know you're feeling it, David. The cold is settling in right now, and we had 27 inches of snow in 24 hours in Empire, Michigan. That cold air over the warm lakes still giving some issues to northern Ohio, western Pennsylvania, and New York. Going into tomorrow, though, I really think it's the wind chill. It makes it all the way through the mid-Atlantic and east. It'll feel like 22 in Charleston. Pensacola, Florida should have their earliest freeze in 26 years, David.
Ginger Zee with us again tonight. Ginger, thank you. And we are just hours away now from the televised impeachment hearings here in Washington. As you likely know, this is only the 4th time impeachment proceedings have played out against an American president. Tomorrow morning, millions will be watching. And among the key questions, was there a quid pro quo? Did President Trump withhold hundreds of millions in U.S. aid to pressure the new president of Ukraine to investigate the Bidens? Tonight, the first 2 witnesses who will testify tomorrow and why they were chosen, and how some Republicans plan to defend the president holding mock hearings today to prepare. ABC's Mary Bruce up on the Hill tonight.
Less than 24 hours until the first public hearings, Democrats eager to let their witnesses speak for themselves.
Madam Speaker, what are you hoping to gain from the impeachment public hearing tomorrow?
We're just having a press conference on Dreamers this day.
They've carefully chosen the first two. Bill Taylor, the top U.S. diplomat in Ukraine, a Vietnam veteran handpicked by the president's own Secretary of State. And George Kent, a senior State Department official who has served presidents of both parties. Democrats believe Taylor and Kent will reveal the scope of the effort to pressure Ukraine to investigate the president's political rivals and outline the stakes for national security. Taylor has testified it was his, quote, clear understanding that Ukraine would not receive nearly $400 million in military aid until they agreed to investigate the Bidens, an arrangement he described as crazy. Kent called American-Ukraine policy a snake pit, led by the president's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, whom he accused of running a campaign of slander and lies. Today, Republicans holding a mock hearing on Capitol Hill. They're preparing to cast the witnesses as unelected and anonymous bureaucrats.
Neither of these two individuals were on the call. These folks never talked to the President of the United States about this call.
Republicans intend to focus narrowly on the president's July phone call, saying there was no pressure when Trump asked the Ukrainian president to, quote, do us a favor and urged him to investigate the Bidens. But witnesses have testified that call is just part of the story, that Ukraine was explicitly told they would not receive the military aid until they announced that investigation.
All right, let's get right to Mary Bruce. She's live up on the Hill tonight. And Mary, we know these televised hearings get underway 10 a.m. tomorrow. And the Democrats and then the Republicans will each have long stretches of time to question these witnesses uninterrupted.
David, the top Republican and Democrat on this committee will each initially have 45 minutes to question the witnesses, giving each party a big chunk of time to try and lay out their case to the American people. After that, each member gets 5 minutes for questions. David, we are told the whole hearing could last more than 6 hours. David.
All right, we'll be here for it all. Mary, thank you. See you in the morning. And I'll be joining George and the entire team. Live coverage of the House impeachment hearings tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here live on ABC. In the meantime, to the other news this Tuesday night, and the urgent manhunt now widening this evening for a U.S. Marine wanted for murder. Michael Brown went AWOL from Camp Lejeune last month. Tonight, the FBI, the U.S. Marshals have all joined the search across several states now. And the new surveillance tonight. Here's ABC's Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, in their urgent effort to locate a Marine deserter accused of killing his mother's boyfriend, authorities releasing these new images as a nationwide manhunt picks up pace. The FBI, U.S. Marshals, and the NCIS joining the search for Michael Alexander Brown, described as armed and dangerous, believed to be carrying a high-powered rifle and potentially other weapons. The murder in tiny Franklin County, Virginia, just outside of Roanoke, shocking local residents, as police have offered no motive. Brown is believed to be driving this black 2008 Lincoln Town Car with North Carolina license plates. Police noting that he has often lived in the woods and that he frequents national parks. Brown disappeared from Camp Lejeune in North Carolina last month, but it's unclear why. The Marines tell us he's under investigation, but are declining to offer specifics.
David, Brown faces second-degree murder charges, and police are warning the public to use extreme caution if encountering Brown. Authorities are concerned the young man is in a volatile state. David?
Pierre Thomas live right here in Washington tonight. Pierre, thank you. And next to the major case before the Supreme Court tonight, President Trump wants to end DACA, the protections for 700,000 undocumented immigrants brought here as children. Oral arguments held today and thousands demonstrated outside the Supreme Court. Their fate now in the hands of the nation's highest court. And ABC's Terry Moran has covered the court for years.
On the plaza outside the Supreme Court, an emotional scene. Thousands of protesters and some dreamers hoping for a ruling that will let them stay.
Today, I look around and I see my friends, my community, and everyone is here to fight to be a part of the country we love.
At issue inside the courtroom, President Trump's 2017 decision to end the DACA program begun by President Obama in 2012 that allowed 700,000 people who came to this country unlawfully when they were 16 or younger to stay. Today, President Trump defending his decision to end DACA with a falsehood, tweeting, "Many of the people in DACA, no longer very young, are far from angels. Some are very tough, hardened criminals. In fact, the DACA program bars anyone with a felony conviction from participating." The court's liberals suggested the Trump administration had offered only flimsy rationales for ending DACA. Justice Sonia Sotomayor blasting the president, noting he once promised the Dreamers, quote, that they were safe under him and that he'd find a way to keep them here, and he hasn't. Conservative justices argued that the president has the power to end the program and that he'd done so properly. But even Justice Neil Gorsuch, a Trump appointee, acknowledged the wrenching emotions at the heart of this case, saying, I hear a lot of facts, sympathetic facts you put out there, and they speak to all of us.
And Terry Moran live at the Supreme Court tonight. Another major headline out of the court today, Terry, as you know, clearing the way for the families of the victims in the Newtown massacre, clearing the way for those families to sue the maker of the AR-15 style rifle used in that shooting that killed, as we all know, 20 children and 6 adults.
That's right, David. Those families suing Remington Arms, the maker of that Bushmaster rifle. They allege that the company knowingly marketed that weapon to civilians for offensive combat-style weapons against, operations against their perceived enemies. The company wanted this court to squash that suit. The justices refused, so it will go forward, a big step for gun control advocates. David?
Terry Moran live at the court again tonight for us. Thank you, Terry. And we turn now to the vaping emergency. Tonight, doctors are now talking about the teenager who needed a double lung transplant. The patient was just 16 at Detroit's Henry Ford Hospital, and doctors saying today the teen was near death. One adding what he saw in the teen's lungs was an evil he hadn't faced before. Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis.
After rushing to the hospital days away from death, tonight Detroit doctors are touting success after their life-saving measures to keep this teenager alive.
This young patient would have died. There is no doubt about it.
His family says he was an otherwise healthy 16-year-old high school athlete, admitted to the hospital with pneumonia-like symptoms after vaping. His is the first known double lung transplant on a vaping patient. The teen asking doctors to show pictures of his damaged lungs, the white indicating scarred and inflamed tissue.
This is an evil that I haven't faced before. I expect him hopefully to be an advocate to stop this madness.
15-year-old Zane Martin experienced similar damage.
Don't vape unless you want to end up in the hospital.
Just last week, the CDC announced vitamin E acetate is a potential culprit in their investigation into the more than 2,000 cases of severe vaping-related illnesses and at least 40 deaths.
Doctors say the teen is doing well. A full recovery is expected to take several months. David?
Lindsay Davis, thank you. And to another alarming headline tonight. This evening, authorities are now investigating 3 separate cases, 3 fraternity-related deaths at 3 different schools in just a matter of days. San Diego State, Arizona State, and now Washington State University tonight. Here's ABC's Kana Whitworth.
710 Linden, Alpha Tau Omega fraternity.
This morning, paramedics racing to an off-campus frat house near Washington State University to find fraternity brothers performing CPR.
Patient's a 19-year-old male. He's not conscious, not breathing. They believe it may be alcohol poisoning.
A preliminary investigation indicating a possible alcohol-related death. It's the 3rd death involving a college fraternity in the last 3 days. At San Diego State University, paramedics called to the dorm of 19-year-old Dylan Hernandez.
He had fallen off of his bunk bed, about like a 6-foot drop, and we later found out that he fractured his skull from that fall.
The school says the freshman had attended a fraternity event the night before and has since suspended all 14 fraternities on campus. And at Arizona State, police are investigating the death of a male student whose body was found just yesterday in Greek housing.
And as for that Washington State case, David, the National Alpha Tau Omega fraternity saying tonight they're mourning the loss of their brother and they're working with police and investigators on the case. David?
Kana Whitworth reporting tonight. Thank you, Kana. And overseas tonight, the chaos in Hong Kong reaching a desperate new level tonight. Violent clashes in the business district there and the Chinese university. The police warning the city is, quote, on the brink of a total breakdown. Pro-democracy protesters pushing to eliminate China's heavy hand. And a deadly escalation tonight of tensions in the Middle East. An Israeli airstrike killing a senior commander of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, a militant group supported by Iran. The targeted attack killing the man's wife as well. At least 50 rockets then fired into Israel from Gaza. No one was hit. There was still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Tuesday from Washington and the backlash tonight. Video showing a man handcuffed by an officer, detained after being told to stop eating his sandwich. Well, the outrage that followed, and tonight the apology. Also news tonight about